Hello. Hi, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, because I know there are still gentlemen catching the videos. So, today I want to talk about anxiety. It's a topic, subject, or something that is happening to a lot of people, and it can be very serious. So, let's take a look at some of the things that causes anxiety and some of the things we can do to combat, maybe not combat it completely, not eradicate it completely, because only one being, then that's God, the creator of all things, is the only one that can eradicate anxiety forever. But in the meantime, what can we do as precious women out there to be able to sort of curb it the best that we can? Thank you for joining me. I was not planning on coming on today. For some reason, I'm here today, and I was not planning this at all. I actually had a plan to do some other things, do some paperwork, and just take care of some personal things in my life. And I don't know. For some reason, this is where I am. So, anxiety. It's a very serious thing. Anxiety can we can have moments of anxiousness in a normal and natural way, like if we're maybe looking to get something exciting for ourselves or do something fun and exciting, that can cause us anxiety. But the anxiety that I want to talk about today that really can harm us in a physical sense and in a mental and emotional sense is the one that I want to talk about. And so that anxiety is one that it's more serious to deal with. And so the reason I like to cover these different topics and subjects is because these are things that affected me in my life back in 2020, 2021, and part of 2022, and I would say even 2023. I've really been able to calm the anxiety in my life, and I've done so many different things. I've used different techniques and strategies to be able to calm the anxiety in my life. And so those are some of the things that I want to share with you today. So, what are some of the causes? The reason I'm looking over here is because I have my notes here. As you can see, I moved into my living room. Actually, I'm not in my office tonight. And so I have my warm, cozy little heated throw because it's a chilly evening. And I have my little fireplace going. So, what are some of the things that cause anxiety? Well, for one, finances. Finances is a big thing that can cause us anxiety. Another thing could be family. Family is very important to us. And so, our mother, our father, our brothers, our sisters, even our children or grandchildren, whatever you have, grandchildren or children, or maybe you don't have any children, but it could be family, it could be your parents, maybe they're aging, maybe they're ill, or just even your siblings, maybe they have some things going on in their lives. And so just things like that. And then another big anxiety causer could be work. And so if you have anything that you can think of, please feel free to put it into the chat as to what might cause you anxiety. So, what are some of the things that you can do to curb the anxiety in your life? I will be happy to read and see what you have done to help yourself. So, some of the things that I have done, point number one for me is really looking at my breath. How am I breathing? And I've had such a it's been a difficult journey. I've shared on my channels before how I became very ill back in 2020. Nothing to do with what was going on globally, not at all. It was actually something that was much more common and something that is widespread throughout humanity. and it's called stress. And so when I became very ill, I started to feel like I felt like I was having a heart attack at one point. And so this is something that can be caused by anxiety. You can have an anxiety attack, you can have a panic attack. And so one of the things that you can do to really focus on that is looking at how are you breathing? Are you breathing shallowly? Or are you taking nice, deep, through the nose breaths and releasing through your mouth? Releasing that breath, really breathing down deeply into your diaphragm and taking in a nice deep breath back in and then back out. So that's one of the things that I have tried. And then another thing that we can do, which is a really difficult one to do, really difficult, is to let go of control. Letting go of control is such an expansive topic. It's such an expansive um, I can't think of the word. What is the word? Um, spectrum, I guess I could say. So you have, starting here, but then you move along and then you go, it can be just such a wide variety of control. And so things that we cannot control, things that are going on in the world at this time in our lives, things that are going on around us, illnesses, finances are just going down, they're spiraling downward. Different things like that, jobs on the line, work, different family issues, things that we've never had to deal with before in our lives, or maybe our parents or even our grandparents or great grandparents had never had to deal with before. We're facing and seeing challenges today that we've never faced before. And so, what are the things that we can control? And what are the things that we cannot control? And what are the things that we have the authority to control, and what are the things that we don't have any authority to control? Those are some of the things that we can look at, and those are some of the things that I've had to do in my life that I realized that can cause a lot of anxiety when really there was nothing I could do. There was really nothing that I could change in a situation, a circumstance, or even in a person. And it would cause me anxiety because I thought it was my job to try to make changes, to try to get a person to change, to try to change a circumstance or a situation that I really did not have any control over. And so that was a huge stressor and a huge anxiety causer for me. And that was just that's just mentioning like a blanket, it's like a blanket statement. I'm not specifying anything at this point. However, there can be so many different things that we can put under or into that spectrum that can cause anxiety that we don't need in our life and that we don't need to take it on ourselves. We don't need to put that weight on ourselves, especially as beautiful, precious ladies out there. And it's something that we should not try to hold and carry for ourselves because it doesn't belong to us. And so, granted, if there's something that does belong to you, something that you do have control over, something that you feel like you can manage as a woman in your day to day, then by all means, that's fine. But there are a lot of things that we cannot control and that we cannot handle or manage because it's not our jurisdiction. We don't have the authority, we don't have that jurisdiction. And so that is just something that I've had to do. So breath work, lots of deep breath work, control, not trying to control anything anymore. And I want to give you just a very small example Um, this is this is kind of a twofold, kind of a almost like a double-edged sword in a way. Like I could say, if you could think of it like this. So where I live right now, I live in a home where I have a neighbor on the left and a neighbor on the right. And yeah, so it's interesting because we have here, I don't know where you live, if you have like your receptacles or garbage containers, if you like if they're in your alleyway and you don't even have to worry about them. I lived in a place like that before, or is it the place where you have to, take out your receptacles to the curb the day of, trash day, garbage day, or maybe the night before? And so when I first moved in here, I was really concerned because I had been so ill with the the sickness that I had that was causing the anxiety, which was stress. It was basically stress. It was what was causing me to be so ill, and I've talked about it on the channel before, on my channels, both in the English and in my Spanish channel as well. And so I became very ill, where I was, you know, 5 days. I had 5 days left to live, is what my team of doctors was telling me. And so when I moved into my new home, which is where I live now, in fact, I'm not in my office where I usually do my videos. I'm actually in my living room with my little fireplace going and my little warm throw. So, so what I wanted to share was that when I first moved in here, I was really concerned because I had been so sick and I was so weak. And I actually had a small team of my friends help me to move into my home. And so I realized that I needed to take my receptacles out, both garbage and the recycling. And they're like these big, huge, 30 gallons. I think, no, I don't even think they're 30 gallons. I think they're even bigger than 30 gallons, maybe like 50-gallon receptacles that you have to take out. I don't know if they're called receptacles. They're just like these big, huge containers that you have to like wheel them out to the curb. And so I was concerned about that because I thought, how am I going to do that? I feel weak. I'm really tired from being ill, and I've been ill for so long. But this is where I had to let go of some of the control. And it was difficult at first because I was just so used to, I've got this. I can do this. I don't need anyone to help me. I don't need a man to help me. Well, sometimes we shouldn't say, sometimes we need to be careful what we ask for, right? But in a good way, be careful what we ask for, because I was able to let go of the control. And so what I did was I just allowed it to be. And so it might have been, I don't know, a couple of months, maybe 2 or 3, 4 months. I'm not even sure. I never really measured. All I know is I haven't had to take out my containers to the curb in a very, very, very long time. Um, Probably 2 or 3 years by now. But so what happened was I started, I would go to work every day, and so the day would be like a Wednesday. And so the day to take the containers to the curb would be a Wednesday. And so it just, some one day my receptacle was just at the curb, and I was like, okay, what happened? Who did this? And I thought, okay, this is interesting. Like, who do I talk to? What do I need to do? What do I need to say? So then every week the days kept going by, and then my can just kept going to the curb. Normally I'd have been like, who do they think they are? That's my receptacle and I can take care of it myself and I don't need anyone to help me. Well, I didn't do that. And because of some other things that I worked on internally and mentally and physically and emotionally, I have worked so much on myself that I feel like I can allow these things to take place in my life and not worry about them anymore like I used to. And so I just allowed it to be. I just allowed it to be and it was good. It was a good thing. And so I didn't feel like I had to say, I don't need a man. I don't need my neighbors to help me. And I couldn't pinpoint which one of the neighbors was helping me. Granted, they were all gentlemen living around me. Uh, and so I couldn't pinpoint who it was because I would never see them. I never knew who it was that was doing it for me. And so that's one of the things I have found out now, like 2 or 3 years later, because I will happen to see, like I'll hear for them, and then I'll see who it is now. But uh, then I just expressed my gratitude. One day I just kind of peeked out the door and I just said, "Hey, thank you so much. I don't know how I appreciate that." And so that's been really nice. And so that's one of the things that I did to let go of some of the control in my life. Things that, you know what, it doesn't matter. It, I mean, we could, as a woman, go over and say, you know what, I don't need your help. I can do this myself. But why? Why would we do that? I'm just going to let it flow. I'm just going to let it go and just be happy and proud that someone is willing to do that for me. And so I'm just really happy about that. And I wanted to share that with you. So, breath work, letting go of control, being present in the moment is the third one. I'm just looking over at my notebook here. So, being in the moment, being present, just really, thinking, I know I have so many things I need to do. I know that I need to do this paperwork, or I need to do this email, or I need to make this phone call. But, tomorrow's another day, and scheduling our time is a really good thing that we can do to not have anxiety in our life as well. I think that's point number 1, 2, 3, 4. So that could be point number 4 is to schedule time in our schedule to do the email, to do the phone call, to do the paperwork, to choose a day to do a specifically paperwork. I had chosen a certain day of the week to do specific paperwork, and you don't have to do it every week. You can do it maybe once or twice a month, depending on what the paperwork is, right? Uh, some things might need more attention than others, but really just looking at your life and just being present. And tonight I thought, I really have to, I have to take care of this. I have to take care of that. I have to do this. I have to call here and go there. And I need to go to the library and do some things at the library. And then I thought, wait a minute, I have a computer I have things that I need here. I can just go ahead and do them here. And so I don't have to go to the library to take care of stuff. And so just things like that, just to help yourself be present. And then, I think, um, I need to go and do this and take care of that. And then I look at myself or I look at what I have at home and I think, actually no, let me just cook a nice meal here at home by myself. And and that makes me happy. Cooking my own meals and using my own, um, you know, natural products that I want to have or want to eat, and that's okay. And so things like that, just being present in the moment, enjoying the time when you're cooking for yourself. I don't have anyone that lives with me. I live by myself, and so it's God and me. That's who's in my home is God's Holy Spirit and myself, and so I just love being present in the moment, and that's okay with me. And so yeah, just just those things. So breath work, what can we control and what do we not have to control? Being present in the moment. And I think I forgot one. So breath work. What can we control? What can we not control? Our schedule. Our schedule. I think I'm missing one. I know I'm missing one. Schedule was not written down. I'm gonna write it down just because I don't want to forget. So breath work, control, and being present. I think I got this confused. I did the Spanish version of this video earlier today, and so my notes are just a little bit different. And so breath work, control, letting go of the control, being present, and then our schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, I want to go and have my dinner. I want to go and prepare my beautiful dinner for myself. And so I am, maybe one of these days I'll do a video on cooking my dinner. I haven't done that yet, but maybe I will share that one day with you. But yeah, I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. It's pretty chilly here where I live. Yeah, it was pretty chilly outside. So I want to sign off now. Make this short and sweet, like one of the viewers had commented, let's say commented, not complained, that my videos were too long. I would love to make this a longer video because I take my time and I feel present and in the moment when I do my videos. Just the thing is, tonight I just want to go and do my dinner and just be present in the moment for the evening and be ready for tomorrow. But I do have some important things to take care of tomorrow. But I just want to take my time with my dinner tonight, breathe, and move on for the next thing. So, one more thing I wanted to mention. I did notice the analytics of who's watching my videos. A lot of men watching the videos. So I do want to do a shout out for the gentlemen and shout out to any of the ladies who have a husband or a partner or a fiance or a boyfriend. Husbands, very special, precious people in our lives. And thank you so much for taking care of your wives and taking care of your daughters and taking care of maybe nieces and, you know, aunts, grandmothers, mothers. Thank you so much. And ladies, take care of your men in your lives and take care of that masculine energy in your life. The man who takes care of you, the man who loves you, the man who wants to do for you. Take care of that because it's so precious. And just really appreciate the man in your life. Any man, whether it be your husband or maybe it's a family member. I have brothers and my father and my sons, and I have so many men around me and throughout my life. And I just love that beautiful masculine energy that is so good to us and really takes care of us. So thank you so much. And I look forward to having comments and anything you want to say in the chat. I look forward to seeing whatever you want to share. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And also, I did see that Spain is watching. Spain, Canada, the UK, Great Britain, Colombia, Mexico, United States, Argentina. So thank you so much. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. And may you all be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.